The Rainbow Cup kicks off this weekend, and although the South African teams will not be involved due to the pandemic, there is still two competitions taking place. First of all, though, we have our competition up here in the Northern Hemisphere. This is my preview and my predictions for each game. As always, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Over 80% of you currently watching this video right now are not subscribed. It's free to do and helps grow the channel, so hit it down below now. Leave a like on the video and put your predictions in the comments down below. Let's get straight into it then. Edinburgh against Zebra is the first game of the Rainbow Cup. 8:15 tonight at Murrayfield. Edinburgh in this year's Pro 14 season finished 5th in Conference B, while Zebra finished rock bottom of Conference A in 6th. The last time they faced each other was back in January of this year, Edinburgh winning that one 26 points to 5. Edinburgh last played against Racing in the Champions Cup, and that was a game to forget as they lost that one 56 points to 3, while Zebra actually pushed back relatively close in the Challenge Cup round of 16, but they ended up losing that one. If we have a look at both sides now, they'll be on your screen. This is how Edinburgh line up. They line up with a mixed team, very mixed, lots of youngsters in there, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. As you can see, they're unavailable through injury list is pretty long, isn't it? It's pretty long, but it's an inexperienced side, but there's a lot of youngsters to keep an eye out on in that team. If we head across to have a look at the Zebra side, this is how Zebra line up, so it'll be on your screen as well. Very much a consistent side, you'd have to say, so excited to see how they go. Of course, the likes of CC in the locks and Nagley in the locks are very good. And of course, Carlo Cana can create something out of nothing, but they have also decided to rotate ever so slightly. So how do I see this one going? Well, for me, Edinburgh had a really tough year in the Pro 14, but I do believe that they'll have enough to get the job done here. I'm going to say Edinburgh by 5 to 10 points. Next up then, we have an Irish derby. Ulster host Connacht down at Kingspan Stadium. Same time kickoff of 8:15. Ulster finished second in Conference A of the Pro 14, while Connacht finished second in Conference B of the Pro 14. Ulster last played, they played against Northampton in the Challenge Cup, and they managed to win that one, and they now have a semi-final against Leicester to look forward to next weekend. While Connacht, they last played against Leicester Tigers in the Challenge Cup, losing that one. But you've got to say that really they probably should have done a bit better in that one. But looking at both teams have gone with a pretty solid side, both strong sides. Ulster, of course, will have one eye on that Challenge Cup semi-final, a competition that I now believe they are favourites for. And do you know what? Both coaches have openly spoken that this is a competition they want to do well in. And it's interesting to see that the Irish sides have picked fairly strong teams. It's going to be an interesting game, but I am going to back Ulster to get the job done here. I think their brand of rugby is fantastic to watch, but also I just think, if I'm being totally honest, they're that little bit better than Connacht at the moment. But it'll be interesting to see how they do approach this one, and they'll be very cautious of injuries ahead of next weekend, so we might see some early rotation from the side. But Ulster to win this one by 3 to 5 points. I think it could be a close one. Next up then, we have on the Saturday kickoff, we have Benetton taking on Glasgow Warriors. Benetton finished 6th in Conference B. They actually didn't manage a win in the entire season, only one draw, losing the rest, while Glasgow finished 4th in Conference A. This season, they faced each other not that long ago, actually, under a month ago, 27th of March. Glasgow winning that one, 46 points to 25 up at Scotstoun. Benetton last played against Montpellier in the quarterfinal of the Challenge Cup and pushed them pretty close, but weren't able to get the job done. While Glasgow last played against Montpellier in the round of 16 of the Challenge Cup, but losing that one. Now, this is a really interesting game because Glasgow have rotated a lot for this match. The team will be on your screen now. I'm not sure how serious Glasgow are taking this one. Really excited to see Ross Thompson at 10. I think he's a fantastic young fly half who can create something out of nothing and has a decent boot on him. Benetton have gone fairly strong with their side. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. I think we could be in for a shock here. I think Benetton could get a win here and finally get a win this season. I'm going to back Benetton to win this one 3 to 5 points. I think it'll be close. I wouldn't be surprised if Glasgow win this, but I think the amount of youth and inexperience in that team, I think it's really going to tell throughout the match. The next game we have is Ospreys against Cardiff Blues. What a game this is going to be, and as an Ospreys fan, I'm absolutely buzzing for this. I will be doing a watch along live on the channel here with a Cardiff Blues fan, Ben Ford, who's a regular here on the channel. So we'll be going live at about 5 p.m. for that. We kick off at 5:15 down at the Liberty. So this season, Ospreys finished third in the Pro 14 of the Conference A, while Cardiff Blues finished fourth in Conference B of the Pro 14. And big news for them over the past week or so is that Dwayne Peel will not be joining them at the end of the season. He's opted to join the Scarlet, while Matt Sherritt will come back to the Blues, having spent time previously there, but has now been at Worcester. He'll come back to the squad. Di Young, of course, has signed on as the director of rugby for the long term. Jared Evans has signed a new deal, which is really exciting for them. Looking at recent fixtures between the two sides back on New Year's Day of this year, it was a terrible game. I remember it well. Ospreys winning that one 17-3 down at the Cardiff City Stadium. Last time these two teams talked to the field, Ospreys played against Newcastle Falcons in the round of 16 of the Challenge Cup and lost that one, while the Blues dramatically lost against London Irish down at the Brentford Community Stadium, of course, in the Challenge Cup round of 16. Now, both teams have picked both their sides, and you've got to say the Blues are really experimenting this one, aren't they? The Ospreys are experimenting a little bit, but the Blues really are trying things out. Ben Thomas starting at 15, excited to see how he will get on. I think he's a fantastic player. A couple of players who could come off the bench for the Blues that could get their debuts for the region. Di Young spoke about this previously, where he did say they will look to experiment, they'll look to rotate and give youngsters a go. And it's going to be interesting to see for an Ospreys, this should be a win. This should be a win. And as an Ospreys fan, I'm really hoping that it is. I am going to back us to get the job done. I do think we'll beat the Blues. I think that our team has more than enough quality to win this one, but it could be a potential banana skin. It's tough to know how much fans really care about the Rainbow Cup without the South African teams involved now, but bragging rights are there. There's summer tours on the horizon. There's Lions tours on the horizon. So I'm going to back Ospreys to win this one fairly comfortably. I'm going to back us to win this one by 10 points, but I don't think it's going to be a classic by any stretch of the imagination. The next game then is a massive game as Leinster, they host Munster down at the RDS. Of course, Leinster won the Pro 14, beating Munster 16-6 in the final. Munster would have felt like that was a big opportunity to do something. Last time that they faced each other, of course, Leinster won the final 16-6, but earlier in the year, back at the start of January, Munster lost at home against Leinster 10-13. Leinster, of course, have a semi-final against La Rochelle to look forward to in the Champions Cup. Well, the last time Munster played, they lost against Toulouse in the Champions Cup round of 16. You've got to say as well, one big thing that will be in the minds of both camps is that Munster have not beaten Leinster since December 2018, which is something that will play on the mind. And Leinster and Munster have picked fairly strong teams. Leinster have rotated a little bit more, you'd say, but both teams have picked a pretty strong team, as you can see on your screen now. The Leinster team first, and then the Munster side. As always, we'll be doing a watch along for this one on the channel. Really excited for this game, so do join us for that. Make sure you subscribe for that and hit the notification bell to be reminded of every single video. I'm looking at this one. I think this is a big opportunity for Munster, but Leinster are a machine. They just know how to get the job done. But I'm going to throw my hat out in the ring. I'm going to back Munster to get their first win against Leinster since December 2018, winning by 3 points. The sole game then on the Sunday sees the Dragons host the Scarlets down at Rodney Parade, a 1 p.m. kickoff, so a lunchtime kickoff. Dragons finished 5th in Conference A of the Pro 14, while Scarlets managed to finish 3rd in Conference B of the Pro 14. Dragons last time out, they played against Northampton Saints, and it was not a great game for them, was it? Losing in dramatic style. Well, the Scarlets were absolutely hammered by Sale. I think that's a fair statement. Absolutely hammered by Sale in the Champions Cup round of 16. They last faced each other back in January, 19th of January. Scarlets winning that one 20-3. And it's going to be a really interesting game. I fancy the Dragons for this one. They finished the season really, really strongly. Scarlets were a little bit bumpy. They managed to beat Connacht at the end to secure Champions Cup rugby for next season. But I think it's a massive opportunity for the Dragons. A little bit of rotation from both sides is good to see. So we're going to see some fresh faces. We're going to see some players with a point to prove maybe. But I am going to back the Dragons to get the job done here. I think it'll be a close one. I do think we're going to see some open rugby as well. I'm going to back the Dragons to win this one by 3 to 5 points. So there we go. That's my preview on my predictions for the Rainbow Cup. As always, if you have enjoyed, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. As I said at the start, we're aiming towards 2,000 subscribers and a lot of really exciting content coming your way over the next few weeks. And of course, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. And be sure to join us for the watch-alongs. Ospreys against Cardiff Blues on Saturday evening. And then Saturday night is the big one, Leinster against Munster. Do join me for them. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon here on BS Rugby. Peace.